I'm finally here. Only 5 more watch hours and I will be in YouTube partnership program 3,995.
YouTube has officially decided that starting with January 2027, the amount of watch hours that creators need to have on their channel in the last 365 days needs to be 8,000 in order to qualify to join the YouTube partnership program, which is twice as many as it was before that, which is 4,000 hours. Now, why is this a problem? Probably, even if you're a small creator, you're getting a lot of watch hours, don't you? Especially if you are in the knitting community and there is a high chance that you are making knitting podcasts that last longer time, so they're really long form videos, so the watch hours might be coming to you with no hard work at all, right? Well, let me just share with you that my channel has relatively good views for the amount of reach that I'm getting, and most of my metrics look very nice. And at this point, I have 5,247 watch hours in the last 365 days. Which would mean that if last week Whitney from Knitted by Whitney didn't become my fairy godmother and didn't mention me in her videos about smaller creators, I wouldn't have had a chance to get into the YouTube partnership program once the 1st of January arrives. Now, if this is what I was getting with more than 900 subscribers, imagine what's going on with creators that are less than 500. These numbers are not just big, they are impossible. It's not one of the goals that you can set for yourself and just like move towards it. No matter how hard you try, this is almost impossible to reach for any small channel that doesn't go viral randomly. Which is why today I want to share 10 channels related to knitting that currently have less than 1,000 subscribers to maybe interest you in subscribing to them and helping them get into the program before it's too late. All the channels I'm going to show you today are the ones I personally follow, watch videos of and love. So I really hope that you're gonna find them interesting and give them a subscribe. So hop on board, grab your beverage of your choice, and let's get into it. Now, before we start, 2 disclaimers of 2 big elephants in the room. First of all, you might notice that the picture is a bit different from what you usually see in my podcast. That's because I'm trying out my new camera. I have finally saved up money from all the tech editing I was doing, and I got a used DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Yes, it's not the newest camera, and yes, I bought it secondhand, but I am so excited and I'm really happy so far. I even went to a local market to record some videos for the vlog, and then my SD card got fried, so I lost all the footage. Let's hope this new one won't fry while I'm recording this video. If this video is up, it's probably fine so. But overall, I'm very excited because I can actually take you with me now, and it's much more easy for me to film even in my apartment, because for now I can use an actual tripod instead of my usual tripod. A box from my travel mug filled with dice. It literally has my full collection of dice inside. Do you want to see my collection of dice? I have so many dice here. Stop. Nadya, focus, knitting. We're talking about knitting. Second elephant in the room is that I, thanks to Whitney once again, have reached the 1,000 subscribers that I needed to get into the YouTube partnership program, which means that now I will be earning like pennies, but still money from the views on YouTube. I have removed all the mid-roll ads that for some reason YouTube decided to add into my videos, even though I specifically pressed the checkbox of not adding any mid-roll ads. So if you were unfortunate to watch any of my videos in the period while I was working through it, I'm very sorry. I never meant to turn on mid-roll ads. This is the most annoying thing you can have on a video, so I'm not doing that. I'm also not doing any like subscription based things. like join the channel or whatever, because I am very, very not in the mindset of making my content in any way behind a paywall. So the only products I will ever sell are either physical or something useful, not just my videos. My videos are free for everybody. Also, I prefer to take money from big corporations other than my fellow knitters. So thank you, but no thank you. But why was this whole segment here? That is because now I am very scared, because now I officially earn money for my knitting content, which means I can be discussed at the Craftsnark Reddit. The only thing saving me before from being piled on there for anything controversial I do was that I was not earning money from knitting, which is one of the rules of the subreddit. So now, if I do anything remotely controversial, or if I even don't do anything remotely controversial, because you know how Craftsnark is, they kinda can talk about me, and I am scared. Because this is the hell on earth, and this is the worst thing that can happen to me. I swear, if I ever end up on Craftsnark, my therapist is gonna buy herself a yacht. Let's hope I don't say anything stupid or do anything remotely provoking for them to shred me to pieces. On that note, let's go right into the YouTubers I want you to subscribe to, because I think you're gonna love their content. The first YouTuber on my list is Kasia. Kasia goes by purlsandpaws on YouTube, and she is a YouTube content creator from Poland. Now, content creator is a big word because Kasia is actually also working full-time as a software engineer. She has 3 cats and 1 dog, which sounds absolutely stunning. And yes, I will be talking about pets of all of the YouTubers I'm gonna talk about today, because who doesn't like to see fur babies in their videos, right? I absolutely love when any of the knitting content creators have any animals. Does steal my focus from the videos, because I just want to pet everything that is inside the frame. And honestly, I really hope that one day I will be able to pet Kasia's dog, because it's an adorable baby. Now, most of Kasia's content is knitting podcast, the traditional ones. What she knits, what she is working on right now and what she has finished, and her yarn acquisitions. Sometimes she does vlogs, for example, from yarn fairs. But what's most exciting about Kasia's channel is, well, most of all, her knits. She always chooses the best yarns. They look gorgeous. She's also quite a user of coned yarns as well. As if you know, this channel is all about using cones because we are all broke, and cones make knitting very, very accessible. Second of all, Kasia always chooses fun projects. Yes, she does have some basic knits. For example, she has finished Irina top by Mochi Knits a few weeks ago. So it's not like every single knit she's gonna make is gonna be a huge fireworks of colors. But she's the exact opposite of a set beige knitter. Her knits are always bright and fun, and also she does a lot of test knits, which is how I actually found her channel. One of the first videos I've ever saw of Kasia was a test knit she was doing. And can I just say, all the projects that she makes during test knits look absolutely stunning and actually motivate me to try the patterns she is knitting during test knits. For example, Kasia was the reason I found out about shimmy shorts that I was raving about and immediately bought the pattern a few months ago. I haven't knit them yet, but I still can't wait for the moment when I will. Now, another very important thing about Kasia's channel is that Kasia has the same problem as I have in the knitting world. This problem is being called bigger boobas. Bigger boobas are a problem when you're looking for patterns, because it doesn't really matter what size your body is. A lot of patterns are graded from the full bust circumference. So a lot of cases of knits that you knit according to the pattern will end up either as a potato sack or opening up on your boobish area, which is always fun. So even though Kasia is much smaller size than I am, she also has busty girl problems. So Kasia, is diving deep into bust darts, both vertical and horizontal, and this is the reason why the video I will recommend to you from her channel is full bust knitting tips and missing wool knits. It was a knitting podcast where she dove deeper into how she was researching bust darts and incorporating bust darts into the pattern that did not have them inside the pattern, so she was planning through how to add them. And I think this video could be very, very, very useful for those of you who want to kind of be not dependent on the pattern to be perfectly written to fit your boobage size. So this video is both useful and fun, and you can definitely see her fun, bright and crazy personality shining through this video. And let's just say that after watching Katya's videos, I became such a big fan that now we are much closer to being friends than being just YouTube creators together, because she is lovely. We are even having a buddy knit now, so I think that's enough of advertisement for her channel, but she is criminally underrated on YouTube. She has around 100 subscribers and she deserves millions. I swear, she is the loveliest person ever, so that is my review. The next creator on my list is Taylor from Make a Little. She's a Seattle-based fiber artist that has at least one cat. I think it's one cat. And as far as I remember, the name of the cat is Pancake, which is super adorable. Her channel is kind of like a diary of everything she's knitting. She is doing challenges like how much I can knit in 24 hours. She's doing vlogs from fiber festivals. For example, she's been to Flock, and I'm very jealous. The first video I saw from her was a very fun one because it was her attempting to knit the Oma sweater, and she was not very sure that this garment is gonna go right, and she was kind of right about it. Everything was going wrong on her journey, but in the end she had the best sweater you can imagine. She's fun, she's sweet, and she's very cozy to watch. She has very different patterns that she's knitting from. Like, I can't really give you like one particular vibe because she's knitting different accessories from like fun colors like lime green wiggly scarf to, for example, Fair Isle sweaters and hats. She has knit a lot of cute mittens, and she has quite a backlog of videos you can go through to watch. Also, her Ravelry in the projects, when she's posting pictures of her projects, you can definitely see her cat a lot there. And I kind of feel like every knit becomes better if there's a pet lying on this knit, so I love that. The video I will recommend you from her channel to start with is my unpopular knitting opinions around. I would not say that they are like hot takes, but there's definitely a lot of this fun discussion points that she was stating there. So even though I already saw the video with Oma sweater before that, this video finally made me subscribe immediately and start watching her religiously, because I kind of feel like our world views are very much aligned. The only thing that we do not agree on, or kind of agree on, but like in different meanings, one of her hot takes is that bottom-up knitting is not that bad. And I can say that if I was not my size, I probably would say the same thing. My biggest problem with bottom-up knitting is that I don't want to cast on a million stitches. Like, just no. Unfortunately, no. Just no. So, yeah, no. And she kind of got my point. So once again, Make a Little by Taylor is my second recommendation. Next on my list is Chrissy from QuestionsForDessert. She's a fiber artist from Lexington, Kentucky, and she's a therapist that also does yoga. On the pet department, it's a very sad story because she used to have 2 cats, but unfortunately they passed away not that long ago. So unfortunately no fluffy butts right now in her videos, but her videos are very calming and closer to like ASMR experience of podcasts. And one thing I absolutely love about all of Chrissy's content is this woman knows how to pick her yarns. A lot of yarns that she is knitting with are something I've never heard of and looking absolutely stunning. So I'm feeling influenced every time I go on her channel. Maybe it's not a good thing since my yarn stash is already overflowing, but it's kind of really cool to window shop through her videos. She's also describing the yarns she's using in a lot of detail, and even the projects that I usually wouldn't go for, when she makes them, they look really nice. For example, she has made 2 ranunculus already, and both of them are stunning. Now, one thing that you will find in abundance on Chrissy's Ravelry is a lot of shawls. She's definitely the shawl girl, which, if you ask me, is really cool. She balances between colorful knits and more neutral colors as well. She does a lot of color work, she does a lot of really cool things, and the patterns she uses are usually not the ones I've seen before, which also makes me very interested to go and see what she has in store and maybe get some inspiration from her channel. What I also really appreciate about Chrissy is that she has already made 2 melt the ice hats, if you know what I mean. Now, the video I will recommend you from Chrissy's channel is the Heartland Yarn Crawl plus my first Mildy. Chrissy goes on a journey of visiting multiple yarn stores, and it is super cozy, and you can take a look on different yarns you can find in the region, which for me, living in Europe, is not as exciting since I'm not able to buy them. But once again, as window shopping experience, that was so cozy, and I got really inspired to check more small local yarn stores to see maybe if I will be able to find gems in the future. So once again, Chrissy from QuestionsForDessert is my 3rd recommendation. At this point, I will forget what number I'm at because my brain is stopping to work. I did not have my DHD pill today, and you can see that because I am quieter than usual. But the next person on my list is Theo from LoitchCraft. He's a San Francisco-based fiber artist and stay-at-home dad. I'm not sure if he has pets, but he definitely has a son. And what is really cool that he not only knits for himself, but also for his son. Technically, he did start making things for his son in the beginning and then switched to making something for himself as well. He is very much the face behind like the bright colors and unusual patterns, which we love here. And one really cool thing is that he's actually pursuing the Knitting Guild's mastery course. I am very excited to see how this journey goes along because I don't think I actually saw anybody who actually finished the whole like knitting master certification. So I'm definitely following along. From fun hats and bandanas and colorwork sweaters, colorwork vests, colorwork children's sweaters and hats, there's a lot of texture and colors in his works. Now, Theo only started his channel 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. So there are only 4 videos to watch right now, but they are all very entertaining. And the one I will recommend you personally is his latest one, 20 medieval knitting patterns for Ren Fair season. I know a lot of you guys are having your Ren Fair seasons all around summer. I'm jealous. I know there's like something like a Ren Fair here in Denmark, but it's kind of like far away from me and I don't have a car and I don't really want to travel on a train in a medieval costume. And also I'm shy and I also don't like doing things alone. So I've never been there and I'm jealous. So I really try to live my dream through the videos of people who actually go to Ren Fairs. But yes, this is a very fun knitting pattern roundup for something you can make to wear to a Ren Fair. So Theo from LoitchCraft is a great channel to follow and see what he's got in his future videos. The next content creator on my list is the plus-size queen of my feed. It's Gabby from Itsgabbycrochet, Orlando-based knitter with 3 cats. I can imagine the chaos of living with 3 cats and knitting. That sounds so fun. As you can tell, I am very jealous of everybody who has pets. I really want to have a dog, but we just like don't have the funds to get a dog right now, so. As you can get from her tag, she's not only knitter but also crocheter. Her knits are really fun though. For example, she takes patterns that are not something I would assume to be fun, but she manages to make it in a fun way. For example, she made a gorgeous piece of content, which is also gonna be a video I'm gonna recommend you watch from her. And the video is called Is the Ranunculus Size Inclusive? Where she actually knits the ranunculus to understand whether it is just like it says it's size inclusive, but not really, or the fit is good or bad. And she really dives into why and how ranunculus is good or not for bigger sizes. She's fun, she's very cheerful, and she's such a pleasure to watch. It kind of feels like sitting there with your friend, drinking coffee and just like talking about knitting. So once again, Gabby from Itsgabbycrochet. Next content creator on my list is Elizabeth, and her channel being The.Yarn.Chicken. Something all of us love to play, right? Elizabeth is from Sweden. She has one rescue cat, and she's the queen of green color. If there was an official ambassador of color green, she would be that. Like, if you go through my projects on Ravelry, you might notice that I have a lot of blue projects, and my yarn stash is like 70% blue yarns. Kinda same with Elizabeth here. She has a lot of green yarns. But that is actually a good thing if you ask me, because while green is still considered a neutral color, I guess, she makes it look fun. From juicy fruit mittens with limes on them to a green with white stripes polo, she has done it all. Most of the videos she makes are knitting podcasts, but she also does some vlogging. She also does some just like yapping videos, and also she does some vlogging during an actual trip. So the video I'm gonna recommend to you is a knitting retreat of my own Riga knitting vlog. What I love about this video is the whole idea behind making our own knitting retreat is something I think all of us have a thought about once in a while. Because knitting retreats are very expensive, and who can afford that? I'm sorry. I would love to. Every time I get ads of knitting retreats in Scotland, for example, I'm just like, shut up and take my money, but I don't have any money. So in the end, I shut up. So the whole idea that any knitting retreat is a knitting retreat, even if you organize it for yourself, is something that relates with me a lot. And she highlighted Riga so nice in her videos, and you can feel the coziness of travel with your knits, which is exactly why you should go and watch some Yarn.Chicken videos from Elizabeth. Now I have a very quick shout out because I literally don't know anything about this creator, because she hasn't had that many videos yet. And also she uploads very rarely, but it's also long, beautiful videos with a lot of editing. So it's definitely worth following, but she doesn't talk that much about her like personal life or herself. The channel is called JenKnitsToo, and Jen there is from Canada. Now Jen is much more into the timeless pieces, so she's much more into the neutral, not boring, like dark green colored knits, but that have like very classic patterns, for example, like sole top or something like that. So something that makes you like chic and serious and more elegant in a way. But the fun fact is that I'm telling you this, but the project that made me subscribe to her channel was actually from the video knitting vlog cardigan number 9 with Nora Yarn. Jen makes videos where she basically does project vlogs, where she highlights all the moments she was having with knitting the project. And let me just say, this is probably the most fun cardigan number 9 I've ever seen in my life. Look at all the colors and how they're shifting around in her cardigan. I am absolutely obsessed. Now, I still don't think I would ever buy Nora yarns just like because of a mix between the price and the amount of knots you have in the yarn. I just don't think it's the quality you're supposed to be getting from the yarn for this price. But I definitely would do something with hand-dyed yarns in these bright and fun colors. There's so much things you can do in this department. So Jen really inspired me to try and make something of my own with the same like crazy color scheme, which is exactly why I can't wait for her next video. It will probably take some time before she posts again, because she's making mostly project vlogs, so she needs to finish the next project before she posts. But I'm so excited. Now I have a lovely cat from KatMakesKnits, a knitter from Buffalo in Minnesota, who has a cat and passion for absolutely stunning colorful pieces. Now, Kat just doesn't do color as other people do color. From variegated yarns to mixing colors I never thought would work together, she is doing a lot of fun things, while at the same time making them look really cool. She's another example of someone making a ranunculus that I actually like, which is also surprising. And the video I want to recommend you watch from Kat is how I find knitting patterns I actually want to knit, Ravelry Knitting Pattern Shopping Podcast. I absolutely love this video because Kat goes deep into the Ravelry's advanced search and how she's using this tool in order to find a project for the yarn she already has. So she had a pile of red mohair and she wanted to buy a pattern that will match this yarn properly. So you can kind of follow her way of looking for patterns. It is very similar to what I do when I'm looking for patterns to match the yarn in my stash. So it is both useful and fun to watch. And as far as I remember, is in this video we can see her cat. Kat's cat. That is funny. So once again, KatMakesKnits is my next suggestion. Okay, next person on my list is Kate from Knit a Bit PNW. She's also a United States based fiber artist. I reached out to her on Instagram to find out whether she has pets or not, and I was not able to get this information for you, unfortunately. It's not like it's bad to not have pets. It's not like I'm shaming people who don't have pets. I don't have pets. It's just an interesting thing for me to observe. It would be so nice if this cruise ship stopped honking while I'm recording. Thank you. No? No. Now, Kate makes cozy knits. She is very much into sweaters, socks, hats, everything in both bright colors and neutral colors. One of my favorite knits from her is Bookish Sleepover Test because it's a red vest that looks absolutely stunning on her. And the video I want to suggest you watch is my 2026 summer knitting plans. It's a short one, but it kind of gives you the gesture of what to expect from her channel and what you're gonna see in the future. So there are some basics, there are some fun things, and she usually posts around once a month. Once again, Kate from Knit a Bit PNW. Next we have Elise from eliseontoast, a London-based knitter with at least one cat. That definitely leans more into the timeless knits. She does a lot of stuff by Petite Knit and Kutuvakika, so if you are not into the standard designers that are on the market, maybe that's not for you, but she has a very charismatic character, so it's always interesting to watch what she says, even if you're not planning to make this particular thing. The video I will recommend to you is Copenhagen Yarn Haul, Yarn Bingo, Shops and My Thoughts. It was basically a vlog from Copenhagen, and not a vlog, more like reflections on the trip. So no, it was more about what she got there and how it was there in her own words. And it's very cozy and has actually a lot of suggestions that I would approve of someone who likes to shop in Copenhagen. Now, the last person on my list is for anyone in my audience who speaks Danish, because unfortunately she only makes content in Danish. And it's my friend Sarah from SBM Creative. She does podcasts, but also she does a very important series of inclusive stitches where she talks about patterns that are size inclusive and fit the bigger bodies. She's mostly focusing on the bigger bodies, and she also does a lot of test knits. She's really into test knits. I think she thinks the same thing about me, and both of us are right. So we're kind of the test knitting junkies. So in her next podcast, I assume she will showcase the Bountiful sweater by Maya Tinks that she was test knitting, and it looks amazing. But the only downside is that her channel is in Danish, so unless you use the automated voiceover from YouTube to English, you kind of have to understand Danish to watch her channel. But I'm very sad that she's also criminally underrated. She posts every week and her videos are always fun to watch. So I'm very sad that she is not getting the audience that she deserves. Which is kind of what I want to say about all the creators I mentioned today. As someone who just escaped the same trap of being under 1,000 subscribers, it can feel quite challenging at times, even if you are not treating YouTube as something like a job or anything like that. So for example, just making content takes so much time that it can feel very depressing when you're just not feeling that you're being appreciated. And luckily for me, it was not a case, because Even though the algorithm was not exactly good to me, let's be real, for the first year, it did not matter because I immediately got at least small, very active audience that are actually talking to me in the comments. So I was always feeling appreciated because you guys always tell me how much you like my videos and I can always have conversations with you. So I always felt rewarded for the time I spent making these videos, right? But for a lot of creators, it can be much harder than it was for me. So if you're looking for new channels to watch, I really hope you will check out some of the suggestions I gave you today. I really hope that YouTube will actually rethink the program changes, because 8,000 hours is insane unless you are like an AI slop kind of channel. Let's just say I'm not exactly happy about these changes. I'm also pissed with what they're doing from next week to the views. I don't know if you heard about it, but now for the views on your long form videos, so like general videos, the views will start counting from the preview place on like subscription page or like on your home page. So if you even like were pulling your cursor over the video and it just like played you 1 second of the video, it will count as a view, which is basically stupid. It will break the analytics completely because it won't showcase the real engagement and reach of your videos. And this is basically just like farming investor money to show to advertisers that the reach that they are able to give them is bigger than it actually is. So I'm not exactly a fan of it. Let's just say that. But what do I know? I'm just a micro creator. We'll see how this goes. I really hope that all the backlash will kind of make them change their mind, but we'll see. We know that they kind of do whatever they want. So I will just thank you and tell you to tell me in the comments if you watch any of these creators or you're considering to watch any of them in the future after me giving you a little sneak peek of their content. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week. I forgot to say that I'm Nadya, the face behind the Lemony channel, where we discuss all things knitting every Thursday. How are we gonna leave now? The pattern is broken.